Hi all, today we are going to discuss about biased differential protection of transformers. So before going to this, because this is interlinked to last two lectures, let us briefly go through the last two lectures and then we will proceed for this topic. So the problems and solutions to apply the differential protection, we have seen there that in order to apply the differential protection, because it is mainly used for transformers, and transformers, the problem is one side it will be connected in star, another side it will be connected in delta for most of the cases, or it can be connected in different configurations. Depending on how they are connected, the three-phase transformer has four different groups. The group 1 corresponding to 0 degrees phase shift between primary and secondary. This is possible for star-star transformer or delta-delta transformer. And group 2 is corresponding for 180 degrees, which is possible for star-star and delta-delta. And group 3 corresponds to minus 30 degrees. This is possible using delta to star or star to delta, and same thing is the case for plus 30 degrees. And generally this differential protection of transformers is used for rating of the transformer greater than 2 MVA for detecting phase to phase fault and phase to ground faults which are happening inside the transformer, not the faults which are happening outside the transformer, because our concern is protection of the transformer only. So after that, because if you take this, so we have seen that there will be a phase shift between the primary and the secondary because of star to delta connections. So we cannot configure this CT connections randomly. That means both sides we cannot maintain the same type of configuration. So in order to avoid this phase shift, so if your star transformer is connected in star by delta, then your CT will be connected in delta to star. Star delta means delta star. If it is a delta star configuration, then it will be connected in star delta, or as a thumb rule, if the delta connection is there in any one side of the winding, then the CTs will be connected in star. If the transformer is connected in star, then CT will be connected in delta. Accordingly, we can configure it. So other problems that are associated for differential protection is difference in the length of the pilot wires. Because of this, the two sides of your pilot wire, the resistance will be different. As continuously the current is passing through them, the voltage that is dropped across these two conductors or two sides of your relay may not be same, because that leads to the circulating currents. So that creates the problem. So that problem can be solved by either going for the balancing resistor or going for biased differential relay. So these things we have discussed in biased differential relay protection. So same thing is the case, difference in the CT characteristics. The problem with the CT is no two CTs can have the exactly same characteristics, and during the fault, the external faults particularly, at the core of the CTs goes to deep saturation. So due to the difference in the characteristics, there will be some difference in the secondary currents that leads to the circulating currents and operation of your relay. And this difference in the currents will increase with the increase in the value of the load current. That's why you have to produce one restraining coil which will depend, or biasing coil which will depend also on what is the value of the load current that is passing. That means the restraining torque should increase with increase in the value of the load current. And another problem with the transformer is generally tap changers are used in the high voltage side. Because of the tap changers also, the voltage will change. When the voltage is changed for a given power, automatically the current will change. When the current is changing, that small circulating current will circulate, because there will be difference in primary and secondary current. That will also create the problem. So this problem also can be overcome by providing a restraining coil, so which will have some threshold, up to beyond some threshold only your differential relay will operate. So, and another problem is the magnetic inrush current. The magnetic inrush current, generally it will happen only for the case of starting a transformer after some service. So that can go up to 5 to 10 times the full load current, but fortunately this will remain only for 5 to 6 cycles. So if you can delay your operation of your relay by 5 to 6 cycles, that problem will solve. So that's why we generally go for IDMT relays for low or medium power transformers, or if you go for high power transformer or the transformers where you cannot take any risk, you cannot take this much delay, so then we go for second harmonic restraining relay. So these are the things that are required. So on the last class we have seen calculation of CT ratios for differential protection. So there I have derived with the proofs how to calculate the CT ratios. So today I am going to tell you what is the shortcut. So then we will proceed further. So shortcut for this one is, always you have to take this ratio of the transformer, the transformer can be connected in star delta. Let us take this example. So here it is 11,000 by 400 volts. So you convert these respective voltage ratios into the phase voltage ratios. That means these are corresponding to line voltage ratios, convert to phase voltage ratios. When you convert these to phase voltage ratios, how this will come? Because star side, the line voltage is 11,000 volts. So this will become equal to 11,000 divided by root 3. This is my phase voltage, and secondary side phase voltage is 400 volts. So this is V phase in the primary side divided by is to V phase in the secondary side. We know that the current that is passing, because for a given power, because root 3 times of VL into IL remains constant. So if the voltage is more, current will be less. If current is more, then voltage will be less. That's why we can tell that when compared to the high voltage winding, always the low voltage winding, the current will be more. That means if you know the primary side, the CT ratio, you want to calculate for the secondary side. So just take the voltage ratio of the transformer. I have taken the voltage ratio of the transformer. It is 11,000 by root 3 is to 400. So how to calculate this one? So your CT ratio in the primary side is given 60 by 5. If you want CT ratio in the secondary side, so CT ratio of CT2 will be equal to, just take the ratio of V phase 1 divided by V phase 2 multiplied by CT1, whatever the CT ratio of CT1 is there, just take this one. So this will become equal to 11,000 divided by root 3, and this will be divided by 400. This you have to multiply with the CT ratio. CT ratio is 60 divided by 5. This will be 60 divided by 5. So if you calculate, you will observe that you will get the same answer what we got in our previous class. We got in the previous class the CT ratio is 1650 divided by 5 root 3. You will get the same answer. And last class, while calculating this last step, I made a small mistake. So I am rectified it now. Actually, it is a mistake from my side while calculating in the calculator. Instead of writing 5 root 3, I wrote 5 divided by root 3. That's why that error came. The CT ratio is 1650 by 5 root 3 or 190.53 is to 1. You can check it, you will get the same answer. So same thing is the case for anything. So what you have to do, you want to calculate the CT ratio of any one side, you have to multiply the voltage ratio of the other side voltage divided by which side of the CT you want to calculate, that will be the voltage ratio, that will be multiplied by CT ratio of the second CT. So when you multiply with that, you will directly get the answer. This way you can get it. You can just apply the second numerical also, you will get the same answer. So let us go to the bias differential protection. So now we already know, let us take for example, I am taking a power transformer. Primary side is connected in delta, secondary side is connected in star. So obviously the CTs will be connected in opposite. So primary side it will be connected in star, I have connected in star. Secondary side it is connected in delta, and the primary side it is connected in such a way, let us assume it depends on the dot notation. Let us assume when the primary side current is passing, this one is I1 I am taking, and in the secondary side this current I am taking as I2. So let us take for any single phase for the analysis purpose. So now when this current is passing, I have designed this dot notation in such a way that when the current enters here, the currents will leave this CT. Actually, some of you have asked me that current direction should be opposite. In some books, they have taken in the opposite. So one thing I want to tell you, it depends on the dot notation how you are representing. I am taking by dot notation in this sense. That means in order to avoid the confusion, secondary side also I am assuming the current will come in the same direction. That is the reason I have taken. So because of this I1, this side the I1 is produced. So this I1 will pass through your pilot wires. So under normal operating conditions, this same I1 will pass like this, and this I1 will come here, and inside per phase this I1 divided by root 3 will pass in this phase. That means in this phase the current will be equal to I1 divided by root 3. So this primary side current is I2, secondary side will be I1 divided by root 3 in the CT. But actually because this is a circulating current scheme, whatever current is entered, same current will leave. So because the same current is leaving, difference in the current only will pass through your operating coil, no current will pass through your operating coil. But you can observe here, this current is passing through your restraining coil, because the restraining coil means it will oppose the operation of your relay, and the amount of opposition for the closing of the relay will depend on what is the value of the current that is passing in your pilot wires. So more the current, more will be the restraining force, less the current, less will be the restraining force. Because of this, it will compensate for the difference in the CT ratios as well as the tapping that is provided in the transformer. Because of the tapping, the current difference will be less. So that much of difference the operating coil cannot operate, because the reason is this restraining coil will take care of that. This restraining coil will increase the restraining force with the increase in current, so it will compensate for that difference. Small difference in the currents operating coil will not detect. So let us assume the case when the fault has happened in this. So how this is going to respond? So let us take different cases. So before going to that, let us see the construction, then we will proceed further. So this coil will have the restraining coil and the operating coil. So whenever the operating force is greater than the restraining force, so this switch, whichever coil it is operating, that switch will close. You can see these switches are connected in parallel. That means any one switch is operating, it will close the circuit. So what is the circuit connected? There is a battery. That battery source is connected. Whenever the switch is closed, the current will come to 1. This 1 is connected to, you can see both the trip coil 1 as well as trip coil 2. That means both the circuit breakers on both sides of the transformer will operate whenever this trips. This is circuit breaker 2. So you can see that both the circuit breakers will tip even when a single coil there is a imbalance. So let us see what will be the operation under different conditions. So first one, I am taking what will be the case for the external faults. So now it came, I hope. No, now it came. So let us try to analyze. So I am taking the case there is a fault. That fault has happened after your CT. So let us take the fault has happened in any one particular phase. So let us take for example the fault has happened in this phase. So whenever the fault has happened in this phase, this current will be supplied by this one. So I am just highlighting. So this fault current is passing through this one. Getting this one? So this fault current will pass through this CT. So or this relay coil. So this relay coil, you can see when the current is passing through this relay coil. So let me represent with some different color. So this relay coil, the current is passing like this. So the relay coil is connected to this one, as well as this side it is connected to this one. That means the current in this path as well as the current in this path. That means the current in this relay as well as this relay will affect because of the fault, because this is connected in delta. So now as the fault current is passing through this winding RYB phase of the secondary of the transformer, same current will pass through the primary also. So this current also will affect. So this fault current will be supplied by this side of the coil. Let us take the ratio that both sides the ratio is same, or the current ratio is same in phases for the analysis to make easy. So this current is in turn supplied by this one. Agree with me? So this current is in turn supplied by, because this coil is connected one side to this one and one side to this one. That means because of this, this is also affected as well as this is also affected. So this will also share some part in the fault current. This will also share some part in the fault current. So you can see here, this side also both the R phase as well as B phase is affected. This side also both R phase and B phase are affected. That means both R phase and B phase are affected. And how much will be the effect in the currents? That effect will be same in both sides. So because of this, what happens? This current will be exactly equal to this current. Same way this current will be exactly equal to this current. So that's why no current will pass through your relay coil. So your relay will not affect. So I am just summarizing here. So for the case of, so let us write in the next page. For external faults, both sides of transformer carry the fault current, and hence same current is induced in the secondary of CT. So because of this, relay will not operate. I hope this is clear to you. So let us proceed the case of internal fault. So I am taking the case of internal fault. So again, this internal fault can be either line to ground fault or phase to phase fault. So let us see each one of these fault one by one. again same thing I am taking the case, there is some internal fault. Let us assume the internal fault is a line to ground fault. So that line to ground fault, let us assume this is my internal fault. So because of this fault, how this is going to be affected? So whenever this internal fault happens, so this fault current, because whatever fault current is coming, this is my fault current. So this fault current is not passing through your relay because it is closing like this and it is returning back. Agree with me? So as the fault current is only closing itself, this will not pass through this circuit breaker. So here this will not come, but this fault current will be supplied by the corresponding circuit in the primary side. So this fault current is supplied by this. So this coil or the primary side coil is connected to two phases. One is connected to this one, another is connected to this one. That means this will also contribute to some fault current. This will also contribute to the fault current. So these two will contribute for the fault current. So automatically the current in this coil also will be there, and similarly the current in this coil also is there. And this side, this R phase, the current is different. So here this current is more. This current is more and this current is also more. So because of this, that current passes through your operating coil, and same way it will pass through this operating coil. That means the operating coils of both R phase and B phase will operate for a fault that is happening to ground. Getting this one? So it depends on the transformer connections. I am repeating once again, whenever the fault happens here, because whatever current is coming here, that is bypassed here, this is not going to affect the current in the CT that is connected in the secondary side. But this fault is supplied from the primary side, so this supplies that fault current, and this is connected to this terminal and this terminal, or we can tell that this phase as well as this phase is supplying that corresponding fault current because it is a delta connected. So what happens, the current in these two CTs is increased, so automatically the secondary current of these two CTs are increased, whereas in this side the currents are not increased because these two phases it is normal. So because of this effect, because of the difference in the current, the corresponding relays will operate. At least one relay will operate, it depends on the type of the fault. So this is for the case of phase fault. So let us take the case of some phase fault. So if the phase fault happens anywhere, how this will going to respond? So for that I am taking a different color. So let us assume the phase fault has happened between these two, or let me take some different color. So phase fault has happened between these two. So whenever the phase fault happens between these two, the circulating current will be there in this. That means the circulating current will pass through this phase, it is passing in this way, and in this phase it is passing in the opposite side, and this current is not passing through your CT. That means here the current passing through this CT will be equal to 0 amperes and current passing through this CT is equal to 0 amperes. But whereas in the primary side, again same thing, this current should be supplied by primary. So in this coil the current will pass like this, and in this coil the current will pass opposite. That means as it is passing in the opposite direction, accordingly the primary side CT currents also affected because this current is increased. So this is supplied from this point, and when this is increased, so it is connected to, because from this point it is connected to this point also. So that means this point as well as this point are affected. That means the currents in these two are affected. So these two CTs, the currents are increased here, whereas they become 0 in the primary side. So because of this, the CTs that are connected in the R phase and Y phase, that means the coils that are connected in the R phase and Y phase will operate because of the difference in the current. I hope that how this differential relay operates for internal faults and how it will not operate for the external faults are clear to you. So before proceeding further, so let me check here also. So here also you may get the doubt. So let me take one case. So let us assume some phase fault has happened in the external side. That means between these two phases if the phase fault happens. So in that case what happens? The circulating current will pass between these two phases. So you can see the circulating currents will pass through this phase also as well as this phase also. So it will pass like this. So same thing is applied here. This phase it will be like this phase it will be like this. And these currents are supplied by the CTs only. That means along with the secondary CTs, the primary CTs are equally affected. That's why it will be counterbalanced or compensated. That is the reason whenever the fault happens in the external circuit, it will not respond. Only for the faults that happens in the internal side only it will respond. But there is disadvantage of this percentage biased differential relay. The disadvantage of the percentage biased differential relay is if the internal faults are there, that means some interturn faults are there or small incipient faults are there, generally the effect of the small incipient faults are very less, and because of your restraining coil, the small differences it will not operate, because restraining coil and operating coil also designed to operate above some threshold only. So it cannot detect the small incipient faults. It can detect only a huge faults. For detecting the incipient faults, you have to go for the Butch-Holz relay only. So this is used for detecting the faults that are severe faults where immediate response is required. So now coming to the charging current. So at the time of switching on, that charging current will pass. Because of the charging current will pass only in the primary of the transformer, that will not pass in the secondary, that too it is a huge value. So that's why your relays will trip. So in order to avoid that problem, I have already discussed before, this relays whichever are used, we prefer to go for the IDMT relays, which will have a time delay of minimum time delay of 6 cycles, so that this problem will solve. There is another way of getting this one, go for the second harmonic restraining coil. Along with this restraining coil, extra one more coil will be provided, that is second harmonic restraining coil. So that one I am going to discuss in the next class. I hope everything is clear up to now. If you still have any queries, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. I will answer to your queries from there. Thank you very much.